All right, everybody, welcome to another episode. It's been about a week since I have been on here talking about this World Cup, the FIFA World Cup 2026 here in North America. I am on location traveling home right now. You can see the backdrop behind me. I'm in Oklahoma City tonight. Joining me from Philly, where they're getting ready for America's big birthday party in a week or so, is Mauricio tonight, and we're going to talk mostly about Portugal, but I'll probably change the subject at some point. We'll talk a little bit about some other general World Cup talking points. Not the group stage is complete, but overall, Mauricio, I'll give you the floor. We're both feeling about the same way about this Portugal performance. You know what? It's not even last night. I wasn't that happy with the Uzbekistan performance either. I know they
No.
got the goals, and I know that they got the victory, which is the most important. But they were not convincing in that game either. And the Congo game was I've talked about already, and I don't think anybody was pleased with that. But overall, what's your takeaway from this group stage for, should I say, Roberto Martinez's Portugal,
It's very
lackluster Portugal side right now?
yeah, you just took the words right out of my lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
With the roster, the starting 11 that you have, plus on top of the bench that you have, it's just very. I don't know what's going on. And at first, I thought maybe it's the players. I was like, you know what? I don't think a Bernardo Silva should have started that first game. It's
Mm-hmm.
too ball dominant with a Bruno
Yeah,
Fernandes,
yeah.
with a Vitinha. I think he then saw that in the
Mm-hmm.
Uzbekistan game where he made the switch to Joao
Yeah,
Felix, who I wanted to start
yeah,
right away because he plays with Ronaldo all year, and not
yeah.
to mention
There's value in that.
in that there's value in that, but also he had a very good year. He was the
Mm-hmm.
player I believe of the year in that league.
I would say so.
So, and I know people can debate whether or not it's a good league, this and that. That's not here or there.
Right.
But it's just, and then I was thinking to myself after that Congo game, okay, it's only a tie. You still need to win the next two. Either
Mm-hmm.
way, you win the group. It's not a big deal. Even though it kind of was the way that they performed,
Yeah.
I took it as it's the first game. It's okay, whatever. But it's just when you watch these games, it's more and more. I feel like it's on the coach tactically. So
Yeah.
now in this World Cup, you get a break. You're getting two hydration breaks,
Mm-hmm.
including the halftime now. So you now can make decisions tactically or even subs throughout the game to visually see how the game is going and to switch things up, talk to a player here and there during those breaks if you need to. And I just don't see any of that. And then after these three games, I'm starting to realize even after yesterday, it's like maybe is Bruno Fernandez not able to play with Vitinha because they're just so ball
There's only
dominant.
one ball.
There's
There's
only
only
one
one
ball.
ball.
And I'm sorry, I know he's had a killer year in the
Yeah.
Premier League and
Yeah.
assists and everything, but if I had to pick one, I'm picking Vitinha all
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because of the way he controls the game. His passes are fluid. He knows where to be. He
Yeah.
knows where the next connection needs to be out of the back with the ball. But it's just it's very lackluster when you get the ball, when Neto gets the ball and he looks up at midfield and there's no urgency. That's the word I'm missing. There's
Yeah.
no
Urgency.
urgency in this
Yeah.
team whatsoever, even in a counterattack.
Mm-hmm.
Where a game like yesterday in Colombia was screaming for a player like Rafael Leon to come in at halftime
Yeah.
against those right backs of Colombia
Mm-hmm.
to just attack. And in the weather, and I know the humidity played a factor. For those that don't think it did, then you're mistaken because it's
Mm-hmm.
really hot over there
Mm-hmm.
and here in the U.S. And don't forget, Portugal played the first two games indoors in
Mm-hmm.
Houston. That
Yeah.
was their first game in the humidity
Yeah.
outside. But like that's the word I want to use. It's just the lackluster of energy. They're not. It's very slow. They keep holding the pace. It's like nothing's changed from that Congo game.
Yeah. It reminds me of this. Reminds me a lot of the 2010 World Cup when they only beat North Korea. Remember that? And then they had
Yeah,
two lousy draws outside of that. Advanced with 5 points, just like this time. Ran into Spain, and the World Cup was over, just like that. Um, and this is reminding me a lot of that. It's yes, everything is so calm and so again,
yeah,
no urgency. It's like there's no need to win. Why risk it, right? It seems like the goal is to connect as many short passes as you can without getting as close to that 100% pass ratio or something, because there's plays, there's opportunities to play the ball in behind and let somebody like a Leon run onto it, or even he wasn't good yesterday, but a Neto that can get in and get behind and then send the ball across. There was opportunities to try to break them, try to exploit them a little bit. And they didn't go. They always went for the safe pass. The entire group
Yeah,
stage, it just
yeah,
seems like it was always the safe pass, lateral, back, work it all the way around again, and done at a pace that for me was a training pace. It looked like they were training in these
yes,
3 games. They were going at practice pace. And this is the World Cup. I mean, if you can't come to the World Cup and leave it all out there. And again, this is what's frustrating me with Portugal is that it seems like every other team is dying on the field to get the three
yes.
points, to play in front of their fans, to deliver a product, to just at least leave the effort out there. And then Portugal seems like they're in preseason mode or in training camp mode, and for them, they're looking at it like the tournament doesn't even start until the knockout stage, but that they've already made the path that much harder for themselves because they did not do their job here in the group stage.
No, exactly. And it's just very it's like you said, it's something we've come accustomed to for some reason when it comes to the moment when there's things in front of them that are achievable, they make it a lot more difficult than
Mm-hmm.
what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Um what made the game last night even more disappointing is that it looked like from the start you played for the tie. You didn't
Yeah,
even
it
play
looked it.
for the win,
Exactly.
which
Exactly.
is kind of confusing to me
In
because you
second
get to
place.
see all the yeah, you get to see all the other groups. They all played before you. So
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing where everyone's
Mm-hmm.
going to line up.
Exactly.
And as Roberto Martinez, I would get the urgency to be like, guys, we want to win the group.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be on that other side.
Yeah.
We get 2 games before we have to match up with the Argentina if we get there.
Right.
Like that's where you want to be. But it just I didn't see it.
No, I
And
didn't
listen,
either.
I'm not putting blame, even though they should get some blame on the players. Like, like even for Ronaldo, he shouldn't be playing 3 games in a row, 90
No,
plus
not at all.
minutes.
Ever.
No,
At this stage.
even that Uzbekistan game, that's the game where you could have sat him. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
need to get a hat trick.
He didn't
I'm
need a
not
hat
worried
trick.
about what Messi is doing,
No,
all the
there's way too
socials.
much worry about
Yeah,
that too. That is,
it's
yeah.
and I get his frustration because every question to him after the game is,
I know.
"Hey, guess what? Messi scored 3
Yeah.
today." And I saw that one and he's like, "I
Yeah.
don't care." It's and that's yeah,
And
who
that's the right
cares?
answer. That's the
Yeah,
right answer.
it is
Yeah.
the right answer. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just the coaching is just I don't know.
It's
It's
not even coaching. I don't think
no, it's not.
it's. I've never seen anything like this where, like you said, it's almost like it's up to Ronaldo to take himself off the field, which no player should be put in that position.
Right. And like you said, you should be getting ready into the game. You shouldn't have to be built up. Once you hear that national anthem for
Exactly.
your country, you should be ready to go. The emotions are flowing. I know us watching TV, once we hear it, we're
Oh
psyched
yeah,
up or ready to go.
absolutely. And I was Friday night. I was at Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia. After those anthems, those two teams were ready to go for it. They knew both teams had a chance to advance. I know it ended 0-0, but both teams went for it. They left it all out there. The fans left happy with the effort. That didn't happen in this Portugal game at all,
Right.
or in
No.
any of these Portugal games at all. They've really lacked effort, in my opinion. Everything is just such a slow build-up. It's 30 minutes before they decide to actually pick up the pace a little bit. And again, you talked about the heat and humidity, and yes, that's different. But they've been training in it for 2 weeks now. What are they doing in training other than
Yeah.
a lot of people are commenting they know that they've been going to the beach a lot. They've been having a lot of
Yeah.
downtime, and that's not a good look when you're playing
No.
poorly. I'm not. They're not the only team recovering that way, but
Right.
the other teams are doing their job on the pitch, and Portugal is not doing their job on the pitch.
Right.
They're
And that's
playing.
their thing.
Yeah.
Their social media. It's not the media. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they get wrong. They think it's the
Yeah.
media. The media picks up everyone's virals that they
Exactly.
put up.
Right. Exactly.
So it's not really them. And then people are like, well, they should have been prepared for it and everything. They should have, because if you look at the Colombia game, he rotated his squad.
Mm-hmm.
Their leading scorer, Munoz, did not start this game. He
Right.
rotated those 2 wingbacks. And you still, probably this is a game where Nun Mans could have rested.
Yeah.
This is the game, instead of bringing Dalot at halftime, maybe he could have started that left back and you could have started Matheus Nunes at right back.
And
And
imagine this: bring in a fresh Nuno Mensch late in the game when
yes,
Colombia's tired.
exactly, and that's why I was calling for a Rafael Leon right out of the
Yeah.
half. I'm like, this is where you get him now. Bring him in
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
or
and
a
I
corner,
thought
or
we
even a
should have seen
Conceição.
Conceição. We should have
Yeah,
seen him as well. I think
yeah,
both flanks should have been swapped out.
exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
And to say you're going for the win, and you don't swap out both flanks, and you don't put in Gonzalo Ramos,
Yeah,
you're
right.
really not going
You're
for the
not
win.
going for the win. No,
You're
there's
not,
no doubt about it because with 10 minutes to play or whatever it was, we got a corner and Bruno Fernandes just walking the length of the field to take this corner.
right.
He's walking.
Yes.
I almost shut the TV off. Like clearly at that moment they told everybody they're happy with second place and apparently want to face Croatia. They want to face maybe they're just don't want to face non-European teams because they clearly don't match up well or they don't adapt well to the style of play
Right.
with the non-European teams. And I think it's sort of if that's the idea, that's ridiculous. I
Right.
mean,
But what you just said about Bruno Fernandes walking up, it kind of reminded me of the Congo game. Did you remember
mm-hmm.
how long it took him to
Yeah,
walk up to
yeah.
that corner? Congo was even complaining about getting rid of the corner kick because he was taking so long.
Congo were playing to win, and Portugal were playing
Yes.
to hold the draw. I mean, it's like we're trying to repeat Euro 2016 and draw
Yeah.
our way all the way to the end, and that kind of thing happened once. It's not going to happen again.
No, no. And you got to get lucky. And guess what?
Yeah.
You guys are not getting lucky.
No, no. It's not coming. And again, I know it's no one isolated event, but I see our guys going down way too easy near the area,
Yeah.
looking way too much for calls. I know we've got a reputation of that, but we're like playing up to it now. We're literally fulfilling the stereotype that we're there to dive and we're trying to steal a penalty, which tells me they have very little confidence in their ability
Right.
to create a goal because they're looking for it the
And
easy way.
that's the thing. Everyone's saying Uncle Ronaldo. It's like they're waiting for him to
Mm-hmm.
create,
Yeah.
to make a run, to hit
Yeah.
a free kick. And it's like, what people keep forgetting is the quality of Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and
Mm-hmm.
Rafael Leão, Conceição, Neto. You guys are the creator. You don't have to feed him. It
Right.
doesn't. You guys can find your way. I think last night Felix had a counterattack where he tried to find Ronaldo and he was offsides. He
Yes.
should have taken it.
Yes, exactly. He had a great look at goal, and instead he looks for Ronaldo. And I mean, again, he's gonna score goals when they come naturally, not when you
Right.
force it to him, because he's not that good. He's not 21 years old. He's 41, and if you're gonna force him to him, a lot of times he's got 3 defenders on him. That means there's space for someone else to do something, and instead we're just feeding right into the other team's plan, which is to play it to Ronaldo and let the
Right.
3 defenders, easily take care of him.
So, Mikey, what is your opinion on the midfield? I know a lot of people that I've spoken to, they're concerned with the Bruno Fernandes, the Vitinha, all mixing well and stuff like that. What's your take? Because I know mine. I feel like it's getting to the point where you're going to have to make a hard decision.
Yeah, I mean, roles need to be more clarified. Right now,
Yeah.
it looks like you're just got ball handlers and you're throwing them out there and telling them to kind of figure it out. I think a ball winner is needed in there. I thought Ruben Neves could be that guy because you can't have all just guys that can play with the ball and pass it and dink it around. You got to have somebody that's in there willing to get dirty, that's willing to make a tackle. Yeah, like you said, either a hard decision needs to be made or roles need to be adjusted, and someone needs to identify who's the playmaker here, who's in support, who's the box to box. Because there's a whole lot of sideways play with Vitinha and Bruno and João Neves even. João Neves goes forward a little bit more, but it's too many safe passes for me. This is the World Cup. You have to go for it. And it just looks like they're playing not to lose every single time. No matter who the opponent is, they're dropping to the level to play not to lose.
Yeah. And the one thing about Ruben Neves, like you said, I liked his aggressiveness yesterday. He took some shots, but those are the shots he used to take, those long range shots and everything. At least he made the attempt where I don't see other players at all doing that.
You see today, Canada wins 1-0. Eustáquio hammers a shot. I don't think our midfielders take that shot.
Nope.
They cut it back. They look for a square pass or they look for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
They don't take that shot.
I was thinking the same thing.
And it had to be him because, he played for Portugal right up to U21 before making the switch. So it's like, I don't know. There's something against shooting in this team. And it's like, it's baffling the way they approach these matches and just try to make everything perfect. And there's just I'm not seeing a work rate. And when they have the ball, they seem more interested in doing little flicks and little backfields and possessing. And it's like, this that's not how you win at this level.
No.
You can't win 0-0.
No. It's if there's a trophy for possession, you guys
Yeah.
are up there, but there's no trophy for that. It does nothing. I don't know if you, but even if like you're trying to keep possession for later in the game to save your
Hmm.
legs,
Hmm.
you guys were by like the 70th minute, you guys were dead
Yeah,
in the Colombia game.
exactly. They
You
were
had
the
no more
yeah,
legs. It was done.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So I just don't get it.
It's what really frustrates me. I've been vocal about this. It's frustrating because I know how much these people paid to go watch these games. Um, I didn't go see Portugal because it just was out of my price range.
Right. Me
I
too.
went to Houston, but I knew I wasn't going into the stadium because it was just the tickets were going in the other direction. I thought they'd come down. They went sky high.
Oh wow.
They just continued. The demand just got hotter and hotter and hotter to see. Let's be honest, to see Ronaldo, not to see Portugal. And I've never seen so many Portugal shirts on Mexicans, Indians, Pakistanis. I'm not trying to
No,
say there's anything
the
wrong
love
with
is
that. The
worldwide.
love is great, but the Portugal fans are priced out of this World Cup for the most part, and you know, it's kind of a weird experience because even even at the Cape Verde game, most of the support was from Mexicans, Mexican fans, and the chant it was Cabo Verde, like it was in
Yeah.
Spanish. We were chanting Cabo Verde in Spanish, and when I was at the Fan Fest in Houston, there were more Ronaldo chants than Portugal chants, and it was Ronaldo in that
Right.
Spanish pronunciation. It was funny, but it's been a weird phenomenon to see this following support for Portugal, but again, wherever these fans came from, wherever they originate from, they paid a lot of money to come see this team play. Okay, and that the effort is not matching what these fans.
No.
I know that it's not necessarily the players' problem what fans paid to watch, but they are your supporters. They are your, in a way, customer. You have to deliver something for the people that made a lot of sacrifices to go to these games,
No,
and
you're right.
and the effort does not match the effort fans made to be there.
Right. And every game doesn't have to be 3-4-0. We'll
No,
take a
no,
1-0
yeah,
as long as there's quality on the field. But if you're playing to tie the game and you're just, ticky tacky passing here
yeah,
just to go to one side and go back to the other side,
right.
fans aren't there to watch. That's
No, nobody
JV
wants to see
soccer.
that. Nobody
Nobody
wants to
would.
see that.
No. And I think that's what they're getting. Like, oh, we're not here to please the fans. The fans just want to win, but we want to win showing some excitement. And
Yeah,
if you're not going to show it on the field, how do you want us to show it back to you guys?
right. And it's one thing if they were playing hard and they were leaving it out and the ball just wouldn't go in. We've seen those games where you get a goalkeeper that nothing. Vozinha from Cape Verde, for
Yeah,
example, against Spain, you get a performance like that and the ball just. Had that happened last night, it'd be one thing, but the three matches were so consistent in that the effort was
right.
just so low, the tempo was so low, the pace of play was so low, so slow, and it's like I don't know what the objective was. Was it just to get through these three games,
That's what it looked like.
healthy, and then
Yeah,
play for real now? I mean, I think that's a dangerous way to. I know it's a long tournament, but it's
it's dangerous.
it could be a real quick tournament. I mean,
Right.
Croatia's no walk in the
No,
park, and I know even despite how poorly Portugal have played, a lot of fans are talking like that game's already won, and we're
no,
talking about Spain in the round of 16, and
no.
it's like we're not in the round of 16.
We're not. We're not.
No,
And like, if you look at it this way, the game last night, it ended 0-0. We're not happy with everything our team. If I'm a
mm-hmm.
Colombian fan, even my team not scoring, I'm happy the way they played. So
Yeah,
that's the difference, and that's how we want to feel.
yeah,
But you're not giving that. Like we said, like we just talked about, you don't have to score all these goals, but
no,
give us something to be excited about for
yes,
the next game.
exactly,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? We'd be more confident going into this Croatia game. And to be honest with you, I'm actually not. I'm
No,
not
I'm
that
not. I'm
confident.
not confident at
And
all.
to
I
be
wouldn't.
honest with you, even if we would have advanced first in the group, I probably wouldn't have been confident in this Ghana game either. The
Ghana would be
way
a tough matchup.
the way they played England,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
have been confident. I don't
exactly.
think either.
Carlos Queiroz, yeah, right.
Yes, Queiroz knows what he's doing. So that's what we're saying. Just watching it from a view, and I guess it's kind of disappointing because it's like we see it. Why
Hmm.
can't you see it as the? And I mean that you.
Yeah,
I mean the coach. Like
yeah,
we're seeing it on the
yeah,
TV. You're there on the
exactly.
field. You know players are struggling. You see the competition that you're doing it. And like I said before, you have these breaks where you can say, "Hey guys, are you
Hmm.
feeling all right? We need to start pressuring up more. maybe we need to do a higher up the pitch,
Yeah.
move this. None of that. It's
Nothing,
almost
no
like
adjustments, no in-game
and
adjustments.
he's happy about it, like as
Yeah,
if like, yo, good
th-
job, guys. And I'm like,
that's the
what?
worst part
Yeah,
because nobody believes him.
no, no,
He, on Fox, I think it was Stuart Holden or maybe it was John, or whichever one of the commentators said it, but he said Roberto Martinez, to a fault, is overly positive. He's always
Stu. It was
it was
Stu
Stu
Holden.
Holden, and he's so right about that.
Yes,
There was one play, it was lousy, and you look over and he's applauding it, and it's that sets a really low bar in my opinion for this team, and clearly it shows in the way that they play. Like the bar is low, and they're not worried. Not one player seems concerned about losing his spot. Not one player seems concerned, that this tournament's not going the way they could have. There's no way they imagined it going this way, and I think in their minds they thought they were going to coast through these teams and arrive at this Colombia game with 6 points, and then the two teams would have 6 points, and whatever happens happens. But
I agree.
the draw doesn't surprise me. The way we arrived there is what surprises me.
Yes,
And we were, by a toenail. Otherwise, it's
right.
a Colombia win, and it would have made no difference in the overall table. But that's even more the problem because they were not going to drop to third. Why play so
Right.
scared?
Right.
You were not going to drop to
No.
third. You could
The
have
goal
risked it and
differential was
lost
just
1-0.
so high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had they gone forward, had they gone for the win and lost 1-0 on a counter, I think we would have lived with it better.
Right.
You contrast it, for example, with the United States and how their third game went, and so many positives came out of that loss. Very little positives came out of this draw for Portugal.
Even the United States, I've said this for a few people already. Even with their loss, those 3 games, that's the best I've seen them play in
Oh
years.
yeah, you can't compare to how Portugal played. It's which one looks like the contender and which one looks like
night or day. It's night and day with
Yeah.
them. It really is, and I'm just very concerned because it's more. The more concerned I am is just tactically the coach. It's the tactics.
Yeah, there's no ideas there at all.
There's nothing. There's nothing that I see that would change. I don't see besides a free kick here and there.
I think it's in that corner.
Besides a free kick here and there, getting lucky on that. Besides that, I don't know. Someone has to win a one-on-one battle and just get lucky.
Yeah, exactly. I just the belief it seems low. I don't know. These players don't look like they believe that they're contenders.
I think
for
the
this.
only thing positive that I took out of this finishing second in the group is that the game is in Toronto.
Yeah,
and I feel like that is going to be a home game for Portugal, knowing all the surrounding cities that we know of in that Northeast.
Yeah,
that might go to that game.
It's a short trip. Yeah,
it's a short trip for someone in Newark, New Jersey,
and in Ontario and Quebec. There's plenty of.
It's right there, and not to mention all the Portuguese people that are there in Toronto, in Canada.
Yeah.
And you're getting out of the heat. Well, not as hot.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
Not as hot as here. We'll see.
What time is that game? Do you know?
That game is at 7 on Thursday.
It's Thursday, so it's a later game on Thursday night. Okay.
So that's the other thing. You could have got a day off if you won. The
that
would have been on Friday.
And you know what's funny is this group stage has been overly kind. They're playing once a week. They're putting 6 days between each game. There's really no excuse for being so lackluster and having so little effort out there.
Right.
And listen, it was hot for Colombia too, and I think they just managed the match better. And
they did.
You pick and choose your runs. You don't go, all game until you drop, but you pick and choose your moments. And I think Colombia did much better with that than Portugal did, obviously.
100%. Yeah.
Again, they scored a goal. For me, the rules are unfair when that's considered offside on Colombia's goal. I mean, it's a toenail. I mean, and I say that when it affects my team both ways. I think the goal should be to have more goals and not to be taking goals away. I don't think the idea of VAR was to take goals away. Not the way it has worked out.
Exactly.
But the offside rule was never intended to be measured down to the millimeter like this.
Right. Like if half the body, okay. We're talking about a shoe size.
Exactly. It's And I'm not gonna lie. When that went in, I said "Benfica" because I thought that Portugal
They
deserved to
deserved
lose
it.
that game.
They
They
deserved it.
deserved to lose that game, and I part of me was kind of upset that they got away with a draw because I didn't think they earned a draw last night.
Right. And I thought that ball was going in. And I was happy. Actually, Diaz got it off the line, but I didn't think he was going to get
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, there was that one too. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
listen, it's just very
The,
frustrating.
the
Like,
center backs had a decent game, I guess. If you want to take a silver
yeah,
lining, the goalkeeper was good, and the center
yeah,
backs were decent. So
right.
it's
It's just, I know, man. And like, maybe your one quality, Fernand shoots it right at the goalie.
yeah, yeah. And Ronaldo's free kick right at the goalie,
Right at the goalie.
and not really with
No,
enough pace to trouble anybody. But
no, not at all.
uh,
So well,
yeah,
listen, we're on to the next one.
yep,
Hopefully, we'll see what happens, man. I'm
yeah.
thinking. That's
I
why I
have very
needed
little
some.
confidence right now.
Yeah, this is why I needed to talk this out
Yeah,
because after yesterday, I was going crazy.
I went crazy too. I don't think I've ever been so angry with the national team. It's not my prime
Right,
passion, but
right.
this is frustrating because anyone can see the talent that's in this group, and it just needs to be arranged in a way that it functions, and it's not being arranged that way. And
No.
again, you're how does a 41-year-old player play every minute of the group stage? I don't even think he played
Yes.
every minute in the other World Cups he's been in.
No.
He definitely,
No.
when he was 20 years old, he didn't play every minute of the group
Right.
stage. How is he playing every minute at this point?
I just don't get it. Or like, you even. I just doesn't. It doesn't make sense for him to stay in that Uzbekistan game. It
No,
really didn't.
no.
It
Who
was
cares
under
about
control. It was
the
under
hat trick?
control. Yeah, he was under control and everything. Like that was the game where Ramos can get his feet wet into
Mm-hmm.
the tournament. If you need him to come off the bench, he gets some rhythm. No, you decided not to do that, and I just don't. And I don't know what's going on with him and Mathilde Nunes and why he's not being given a chance at right
Yeah,
back.
right. Because
That
there's a need there.
there's a need there, and not to mention this guy played at Man City in that same position all
Yeah,
year
right.
against top quality
Mm-hmm.
opponents, and he was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's why I don't understand like a Samidu's coming in here and there. And then you brought down low, then you switch them over and then you bring Nunez in with what? 10 minutes left to go. What does that that's not going for a win or what you're
No,
like what are you doing there?
no, exactly. It was almost to hold the tie. It's like
Yeah.
it,
And then you're gonna say, I wanted to save Nunez. You didn't save him. You took him out in
no.
the 85th minute. You didn't save
That's
him.
you ran him into the ground. I mean,
Yeah.
he scares me because there's moments in every game where it looks like he's injured.
Yes. Yes.
Every game he create there's a moment where it looks like he's hurt, and maybe
Yesterday,
yeah.
he was getting up slow a lot.
Yes, he was. And listen, it's been a long season, I know, and
Right.
these guys won the Champions League, so their season went even longer than everyone else's.
Right.
There hasn't been any management at all. I mean, he left Joanevj on the bench to start,
Right.
but again, I mean, I think that's the guy that least looks like he needs
The
the
rest.
rest out of all of
Yes.
them. You know,
Right.
so I don't know exactly what Martinez is managing. I don't think he has much say in the Ronaldo thing. I really think behind the scenes, like the job description is Ronaldo plays, because you notice Fernand Sanch didn't get sacked for losing. He got sacked when he finally benched Ronaldo. And,
Yes.
but Martinez is leaving, so what's he got to worry
I,
about?
I,
Just
I don't know
go out there
why.
to win.
And I've had this conversation with my cousin, who's a diehard soccer fan, just like
Mm-hmm.
me and everything. We're in an agreement where it's Ronaldo, and maybe even George Mintz has more of a say on this
It
team than
sounds.
the actual coach.
I don't doubt it at this point. I mean, all the evidence indicates that,
Yeah.
because these decisions make no logical sense other than that being the
The
reason.
player and his agent or
The
whatever.
player and his agent, exactly. And
It's
it's
just.
it's frustrating. It
It
is
is.
frustrating to watch. But like I said, I've enjoyed this World Cup so much. Every other game I've watched, but these three
Yes.
Portugal games. I mean, there's teams, playing way above it. Last night was phenomenal. That Algeria-Austria game
Yes.
that nobody was watching because Argentina was playing at the
Oh,
same
I
time.
saw it.
That game was phenomenal.
Yes.
Um,
From the grips of death.
yeah, and listen, the American fans have come out in full force.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you price these tickets at. I never in a million years thought when I got tickets to see Cabo Verde play Saudi Arabia, that there was going to be 68,000 people in
Right.
Houston, away from the Cape Verdean diaspora. Um, long ways away, and there were a lot of people from our part of the country, from the Northeast there. Um,
Right.
and, and then there was again a lot of Mexico fans that just pick a team and root for them, and they picked Cape Verde for this game, and it was
Right.
funny because I thought it was more of a 50-50 crowd because I saw all the green in the crowd, but the green was more so Mexico jerseys than it was Saudi Arabia. Um, but I can't believe that because I say the tickets were more affordable. They weren't cheap by any means. They're the most I've ever paid for a
Yeah,
soccer ticket ever,
they
or
are.
for any sporting event ticket.
Correct.
They were, NFL playoff level
Yes.
prices. So, but people just show up. They just arrive and they go and they live it up. And you know
So
what?
the news article came out here in
Hmm.
my city, and they're like, "What are the jobs these Europe people have
Yeah,
where they can come over for like a month and they're still okay?"
yeah, I know. There's that German guy Freddie that's just
Yeah.
famous for
Right.
vlogging his trip across North America. And
So here in Philly, because there's been a few
yeah,
games here, each
yeah.
crowd just taken over.
Hmm.
The police are just having their hands full, just trying
Hmm.
to disperse. The last ones were the Croatians, and
Hmm.
they started the day before the game,
Yeah,
and they just took over the city downtown.
yeah.
But you haven't heard one bad thing, though. That's
No,
the
this
greatest
has
thing
all
that's
been.
happening with this tournament and everything. Everything's been a joy,
Uh,
in
yeah,
every game and everything.
and I can speak on in Houston. Police were everywhere, but they were helpful everywhere.
Yeah,
They're asking you where you're trying to get. They point you in the right direction. They're smiling to everybody. If you can get past the bulletproof vests and the machine guns, they're they were perfect. There was viral video in Boston of the cop juggling the soccer ball,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I saw that.
but that's literally how it's been. There
Right.
has been no intimidation. We see in Portugal all the time when there's the big game how the police behave around regular fans. It's been the polar opposite here,
Yeah,
and everything has just functioned well. Fans have
yeah,
behaved themselves for the most part. They're loud. They're excited. I mean, the Algerian fans were shooting off fireworks and flares in Kansas City, but for the most part, everything's been done safely,
right.
and it's been a great experience. I'm so glad I traveled even without going to a Portugal game just to experience this. Being in that fan fest, I mean, it was all Portugal fans or Ronaldo fans,
Yeah.
and then the game ended, and in came the England fans. All right,
Oh,
and literally they started singing. They started, and it was, and then here come the Colombia fans for the night game. It was just you get on the train. Everybody in the city's wearing a soccer jersey. Everybody. I think they actually handed out like World Cup swag to the homeless people because they're all wearing FIFA World Cup T-shirts and stuff. And,
they're wearing the retros.
it's been incredible. It just organizationally, it has been done so well, and I know
Yes,
there were a lot of people rooting for this to fail, so they're
yes,
probably not happy about it. But
happy. Yeah,
it has been a great experience, and most of the Europeans are realizing wow, these stadiums are incredible because we we're in. It was 100 degrees outside in Houston, and it was a nice 72 inside.
yeah,
And I mean, it was unbelievable when they opened the doors to let us in Friday night. The blast of air conditioning that just came out, and I have seen some of the Portuguese. It's the more so the press that follow them from Portugal,
yes, yeah,
talking about Texas, where air conditioning is on steroids, and it really
yes.
it's
So
it's
there was
true.
another article that came out, and they were talking on the radio. They're like, people are so impressed because we have air conditioning, and like, is there no air conditioning in Europe? They're all
they
like, yo, this is awesome.
Yeah, I think what it is in Europe it doesn't get so oppressively hot, so it's
The
not such a
humidity.
yeah the
Yeah.
humidity's not there, so the air conditioning's not. They only need it in those heat wave days, and
Yes.
they go a lot of days where they don't need the air conditioning. Here it's running
Right.
24/7. It has to.
Exactly.
That's
Right.
the climate we live in. So, But
Right.
yeah, it's been unreal. All the little things, and
Yeah.
again, these foreigners loving Bucky's and loving Love's truck stops and Waffle House,
Yeah. And
which
like
I'm going to be heading to Waffle House after
Walmarts and
the
stuff. They're like in
Walmart's.
love with them. Yeah.
And they're like, whoa. There's the video of the Portuguese guys going to Bass Pro Shop, and
Yeah.
the guy goes, "Why is the door so big? Who's that big to come in the door?"
That's the best. That's the best
It
part.
really is. It really is, and it shows that we do have something to offer here,
Yeah.
and we do actually have a culture, much to people's,
Right.
not knowing that. But and this, I know up in Boston, the Scotland fans were phenomenal. I went to the Fan Fest in Providence, and the
Okay.
Scotland fans were there with Portuguese people, a very
I
Portuguese
heard you
area.
guys ran out of beer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Scottish drank Boston Dry. The Sam Adams Tap House ran out of beer. That's never happened. It's it's unreal. But
That's
again,
that's actually impressive.
and they caused no trouble to anybody.
No.
They cleaned up
No.
after themselves. They donated like $30,000 to Children's Hospital in Boston, 30,000
Wow.
to Children's in Providence. They
That's
they
awesome.
they went outside to like the Children's Cancer Unit and sang to the kids from outside.
See,
Like,
that's cool.
it's cool. They really, for me, were heroes in this whole thing. The Scotland fans, and I love the way they support their team regardless of how they play.
Right.
We're,
Right.
we're sitting here like commiserating on Portugal.
Yes.
They scored one goal and they sang their team all the way home,
All the way home. Yeah.
and they
All the way.
enjoyed themselves. Maybe
Right.
we should learn how to enjoy ourselves a little bit more. And
I'm trying to.
I'm trying to, but Mauricio, who else have you been impressed with in this World Cup now that the group stage is done?
Listen, Argentina's Argentina.
Yeah,
I think not impressed, but it's just impressive how they're just like a machine. They just nothing's
yeah,
changed. They're still
exactly.
playing the way that they are.
Hmm.
Um, but to be honest with you, I don't think anything yet um, that points me out. Besides, like God Verde has just been phenomenal. They did what they
Yeah.
needed to do. They played a great tournament.
Hmm.
Hands off to these third place teams like a
Yeah.
Congo,
Yeah.
things like that. I think if anything, I'm kind of was disappointed in a couple teams more than I
Hmm.
was impressed with some other
Sure.
teams because we watch so much soccer,
Hmm.
it doesn't surprise us sometimes.
Right. Right.
Because we're used to the quality of play, the players that we follow, some of these guys and things like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, most of the stars showed up. Like I always said, Norway was a sleeper. You see
Hmm.
what Norway's now doing on the big stage. They hadn't
Yeah.
been there in a while, and
Right.
now with Holland and Odegaard, what they're
Hmm.
doing. It's just I was a little bit disappointed, a little bit in the South American teams, like
I agree.
like
I
an
know
Ecuador
Nino was
and,
very.
and
He had
Uruguay.
enough.
Yeah,
Yesterday, Nino was saying South America, is just fine. Don't worry. But I was happy to see, not just because Cape Verde got to go on, but I was very happy to see Uruguay go. Their way of playing is antiquated. Not it's not entertaining, and they went
no,
out the way Uruguay always goes out by stomping on people and getting red cards in
red
the
cards.
closing seconds.
Yeah.
Always going out that way. There was a huge cheer in Houston when Spain went ahead 1-0, obviously, because it put Cape Verde in position to
Right,
advance.
right.
But they really are the shining star, I think, of the
Yeah.
group stage. And I mean, here's a guy playing for Xavi Shingoli, a 40-year
Yes.
old
Yes.
Xavi goalkeeper. I think he might even be retiring after this because he left Xavi. She said goodbye to
40 years
Xavi.
old.
Yeah, and he didn't turn professional till he was like 25. What a
Right.
story, and again, here's a guy I saw Benfica not able to make any progress with in Sydney Lopes Cabral, and he's had a great world. Aside from being suspended in the last group stage match, he had two great games in the first
Yeah.
two group games. Jamiro there for Cape, and I believe he's played for the Philadelphia Union, right? Jamiro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen MLS guys play at a high level in this World Cup, also on these
Yeah.
different national teams. I think France looks a cut above
And
everybody else.
yes,
They're
absolutely.
so loaded, so deep,
Those
and
three guys up front is like you trying to start a FIFA team.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's
If
hard, Nico.
Mbappe's not on, Olise will take care of it, or Dembele will take care of it. And
Yeah.
Nico wants to know how we're smiling because we already cried it out
Yeah.
before.
You missed us crying before. We're only smiling because we're talking about the crowds we encountered.
That's it.
That's it.
That's why
But
we're
France,
smiling.
like you were just saying, they're like a cheat code. It's not even
Yeah,
funny. And you mentioned there's 3 guys up top, but that's not even including Doué,
right.
Barcola, and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like that's not even fair.
No, they're so good, and
And I think it's their tournament to lose.
it really is. If they take care of business and if they don't take anybody lightly, it's going to be very hard to see them go out in this.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's always going to be teams that are going to match up better with them than everyone else. I haven't been terribly impressed with Spain.
No, me neither.
I haven't been impressed with England either.
No,
for the most part.
I have been impressed. Besides, like we mentioned earlier, the USA. I've been impressed with Mexico too.
Mm-hmm.
These host countries.
The 3 hosts have
showed up.
Have showed up.
And I give it to them because listen, if England gets through and so does Mexico, that's a rough game for England to have to go down to Mexico City.
They don't do well in heat, England. No. They don't like it.
and to add on top of it, you're now leaving the U.S. going and battle the altitude.
Yeah,
well,
Mexico people don't realize because there's no altitude like that in Europe.
No,
the altitude in the Americas versus in Europe is incomparable. The highest point in Europe is barely a blip on the kind of altitude in Central and South America.
And just ask these MLS teams the hostility it is when they play down there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? It's insane.
It's a big reason why the CONCACAF Champions Cup gets dominated by Mexico of late. It's not an overall like Mexican domination. It's when the tie goes to altitude, the MLS teams can't cope with it. A lot of it is lost in Mexico in the altitude. So for as long as Mexico stays at home, they're going to be dangerous. And then the U.S. is their second home. So when they come up here, it's not going to be any letdown.
And I think they're
they
smart
have a massive
to stay.
Support. Yeah,
they all out west all their games. Not a lot of travel.
Right,
all right there, close. I think they're smart.
Yeah, all the way to like the semifinals, and then the semis that are in Dallas, I think, for them. So literally, they're playing at home all the way to the. Yeah, I mean, if Mexico gets to the semis, that is. That's
so
a tall order.
What team, Mikey, would be a surprise team, like a good team if you wanted to put money down or someone not one of the favorites like a France, England, or something like that? Who do you like? Besides our home country.
Yeah, I know who's quickly dropping into that like outsiders bracket. I want to see how they do against Brazil. Brazil has come along a little bit, but I'm not convinced yet. I want to see how Japan does against Brazil. And if Japan gets by them, I'd be curious to see how they do going forward. I like the way that they play the game. I like the way they keep the ball on the ground. They possess, but with purpose. There's a difference. Portugal's possessing with no purpose. Japan possess with a purpose. They go forward. I wonder if a team like any of these African teams, they are blessed with belief that I think other teams don't necessarily have, and you can't convince them they're not going to win. They go into every match. They don't care if it's against Spain. They don't care if it's against Germany. They go into every match believing they can win. They believe they can outwork and can out-heart any team, even if they're less talented.
I feel like the African teams have a little thing on their shoulder because I think they get tired of talked about how dominant the European teams are.
I think so, and we've been waiting for African teams to really join the elite. And I think you have some really good ones here. So you do. They're not like we were saying earlier about had Portugal won and gone to face Ghana, it may not even have been a better draw than Croatia. But Carlos Queiroz leading Ghana, they're going to be hard to break down for anybody.
100%.
And they're going to be organized. They're not going to make mistakes.
Right.
And you're going to have to play your best to eliminate these kinds of teams.
Right. I do want to see. I kind of want to see how this Netherlands team does. I feel like they're a little underrated, but they have some firepower, and I feel like they have quality at all positions. And I feel like they can be a team that can cause a little havoc.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last World Cup, I feel like it got the short end of the stick in that Argentina game with
Yeah.
how it went down.
Yeah.
And I feel like they had a good run, but I can see them maybe causing a little havoc with if they meet up with a France
Yeah.
or things like that. I
Mhm.
can see them giving them a good game.
Yeah. 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 Germany's looked good. I know they lost their
Yeah.
last group stage game, but they've looked proficient as they always do. Um, I liked the way they beat up on Curacao,
What you're supposed to do.
which you're supposed to do. They're the only team that did what they were supposed to do
Supposed to
against
do.
a minnow. As you saw, I said this at the time. Portugal playing, and I'm not comparing Congo to Curacao. They're not the same, but the attitude from Germany versus the attitude that Portugal used to approach their match. It speaks volumes. Germany
Yes.
goes in to do the job, to get it done, and to score until the game is over.
Right.
Portugal gets an early lead and tries to hold it for 84 minutes against Congo and can't.
Right.
And can't get a goal against Colombia. You've raised the level of the opponent a bit to Colombia, and Portugal can't cope with it.
Right. And
If they,
that's the coach in training.
yeah, exactly.
That's you not putting your foot down on the gas.
Right, exactly. It's frustrating to watch this from Portugal because we've seen them win the Euro. We've seen them win the Nations League twice. We know they play well against the big teams, but they still have this issue, just like our club teams in the league sometimes. They still have this Portuguese mentality against what they perceive as smaller teams and teams that want to sit in and take away passing lanes. They don't have the creativity or the idea to break those teams down to create options. They won't shoot from outside the area. And Nick's he's got a comment for us. He says, "Do we see what Uzbekistan did? They needed to win, and they brought in Sami Kov." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It, it, I mean, we went. Yeah, that was poor.
Yeah, it was Portugal.
I see what he
Portugal
did there.
needed to win. They
I see
brought in
what he did there.
Samu
I see what
Costa.
he did there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he's right. He's right. They played like they were Uzbekistan. I think
And we
that's
talked
what he's
about
getting
this.
at.
And we talked about this earlier. It's depressing because you went into that game for a tie,
Yeah, why?
and you were satisfied with the tie, which
And
is
there was no reason.
mind
They
blowing.
were second place. No, Congo was not going to win by 5 goals against Uzbekistan.
No.
And it was that way from the beginning. Even in the end, it was a closer game. They know now. So to let you know, in the stadiums, the players are totally aware of what's going on in the other games. A big alarm goes off when there's a goal in the other game. There's a little ding. It's hilarious because I saw it on TV
Yes.
a few nights ago, and then they explain in the stadium that if you hear that before the game, the MC will be like, if you hear this sound and it's a little tone, that means we have news in the other game. When you hear 2 tones, it confirms it, and then it puts the score up on the screen. So every player on the pitch knows what's going on in the other game all the time. It's not like the old days where they're holding to their phone. Someone on the bench has got the earphone in trying to keep track of it.
You got the earpiece.
Yeah, everybody knows what's going on. And it's funny because that tone played, and then we looked up and we saw Spain had scored on Uruguay, and the whole stadium, both teams' fans cheered because both teams needed that result. But yeah, so again, Portugal knew. My point in telling you all this is that Portugal knew that they were not going to lose second place. Why are they taking a draw? Again, I would have been happier had they gone for it, sent on an extra striker, removed a midfield, something to at least change their look and make Colombia adjust. That not throughout the entire match they never made Colombia adjust to anything.
No, and you didn't scare them. I don't
You
think
didn't
they
scare
were
them.
scared during the game at all on a counter or nothing.
At no point was Colombia's result in any jeopardy.
And I feel like the most important thing that we didn't touch on, what I think what could have happened is if you win this game, the morale probably would have been sky high.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just came back in Miami, which was a home game for Colombia, and for you to win the group, beat a good quality team, moving into the next round, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
And it's you made the feeling worse. Like we talked about it, even 0-0, as a Colombia fan, I was still excited about my team because of the way they played.
Right.
It was just a lot to take yesterday.
Nick's saying pass the ball between defenders until time. It looked like my over 40 team also.
Oh my God! So Nico, what he just wrote, I texted my buddy. He goes, "What is going on with this game?" I texted him back and I said, "It looks like an old man Sunday football
It
league."
does. That's how my team plays once we get once we
So
get in the second half.
that's why I'm laughing right now that Nico wrote that because I texted my friend that yesterday.
Yeah, it's true.
It is.
There's even a scene, and I know I criticized Bruno for walking to take the corner kick, towards the end. But then there's video in the final seconds. He's asking for the ball. He's stretching the field, trying to get one last attack, and the center backs are playing pass with each other and not going anywhere. And you can see him visibly frustrated.
But then there was that other counterattack where you expect high quality passes where Jean Felix gets the ball. You have a running Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And you pass it just a little bit behind him. And it's like, well, come on, guys. You guys should be top notch. Like, it's an easy pass in front of them on the run. Like, I just don't get it.
No, at this level, you have to be able to make that pass. That's not a high degree of difficulty for these guys. Maybe for us, that's a harder pass to make. But for these guys, that's a routine pass.
Or like you said earlier, Jean Felix, be aggressive. Take the ball in and take the shot.
Exactly. I mean, again, the narrative around everything being about Ronaldo and Ronaldo being selfish, I think, is a bit unfair because he's only a player. He's not the coach. He's not,
Right.
If he is setting the game plan, that's an even deeper problem.
Yeah.
That's an even deeper problem within the federation. But a lot of times, especially in the first game, there was 8 things done wrong before the ball had even gotten to Ronaldo's part of the pitch. The ball wasn't even getting there. And again, he's marked by 3 defenders in most cases. That means there's space and there's open people somewhere. And they're just not finding the play. There's no creativity, no courage to even take a risk.
I can't
even
remember
game to just go for it.
I just can't even remember the last time we even kicked a deep ball for a run.
Right, exactly, and we've got wingers.
Yeah.
I can't believe Chico Conceição doesn't come on last night, or Trincão. These are guys, we have so many options on those flanks.
Right. And that could have been a game, even if you want to take Ronaldo out and go with 3 wingers just to spread it out. You could have done that too. You could have brought in Chico and Trincão.
I'm going to read Nick's comment for people listening just on audio because it's gold. He said his dad's gone full Team USA. I'm not far behind him. He says he went home the other day and he was grilling hamburgers and hot dogs. Chorizo and sardinas are back in the fridge and hamburgers and hot dogs are on the grill right now.
You got to save the bacalhau and sardinas.
At least the United States, in losing with a rotated 11, went out and played a good match. They created chances. The defending was a little bit suspect. I'm not big on Matt Turner in goal. I think his level has dropped dramatically.
Me too.
But I think he could have done more on those goals. But the overall vibe you got is that, wow, you have more. You have a second unit that maybe not to play by in their entirety like they did in this match, but you could plug those guys into the first 11 if you need to. There's options there. Portugal didn't even get that far.
No.
We don't know what's on the... I mean, we know these players, but we haven't seen what they can do. Gonçalo Ramos played, I think, 8 minutes this whole group stage. I talked about Trincão. He played a little bit here and there. Conceição not even used in this match. Leon has ability, but you never know what you're going to get from him.
Right.
He's hit or miss. And we haven't seen Mateus at all. Mateus Nunes. We haven't seen him. We've not seen really a back. Cancelo was pulled at halftime. We haven't seen anyone else play on the left besides Nunes.
And
Dalot came in yesterday. He did what he does. I think he's a little bit of a limited player, but he's serviceable. That's kind of where I rate him. I know some people like him more than I do, but that's kind of where I rate him.
That's where I rate him too.
Yeah, and and in midfield, I remember when we were fighting about.
Bernardo Silva didn't even play. Bernardo Silva didn't even play this game.
I know he wasn't good in the first game, but I mean, he can't come in the last 20 when the other team's tired, and he'll have more time on the ball to do what he does. versus
But like
doing it
what
from the
Nico
start.
just said, we subbed in a Samu Costa. At
Yeah,
that time, you needed creativity or
yeah,
something. Why didn't you bring in a Bernard Silva to put in the
exactly,
midfield?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. That would have been, that would have at least
right.
made the Colombians change something.
Like he doesn't have the legs to play the wing anymore, but creativity wise, he can make that pass or maybe get a shot in the midfield
Yeah,
here and there.
right. And I don't like that, and they say it on the broadcast too. And this kind of sits the wrong way with me. And they talk about even Roberto Martinez saying they're playing for Diogo Jota and they're going to win for it. That is not an effort like you're playing for somebody. That
Right,
that that is like blasphemy, if you ask me, to put in that kind of effort and then say that you're playing for Diogo Jota. And
right.
by the way, I got Diogo Jota's jersey on. Got a little story about this in a minute in the fan fest, but no, Diogo Jota, when he was on the pitch, left it out there. He went for it. He
Yeah,
attacked at pace. He created things. He took guys on. He's either scored or assisted.
right.
Nobody wants to do that in this group. I
No,
mean, João Felix a little bit, but even he was, you know, again, not looking to shoot. Like, he's got the
right.
ball. He's cutting in on his preferred foot, and he's looking to pass sideways instead of just put one on goal.
Yeah,
If you
and
want to play for Diogo Jota, play like Diogo Jota did.
yeah, and that goes back to the first thing we said: the urgency and the aggressiveness. Just it's not there in these three games, and for some reason, it's the question as to why.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Colombia having 20 plus shots and we're only having like 10? It should be even,
Mm-hmm.
or we should have an edge there with the quality that we have on the field. There's no way where we shouldn't have a game where we shouldn't have 15 plus shots
All
at
right.
least.
Yeah. No, with the amount of
So,
the ball that we have, we should be creating a lot more
right,
opportunities.
exactly.
It's not rocket science. You shoot a few from further out, the other team has to come out
Right.
and defend them, and that opens space. You learn that
It's,
as a kid. I mean,
yeah, they're looking for the beautiful goal
yeah.
where you need sometimes a deflection, a
Mm-hmm.
rebound. The goals, the way they go in, it doesn't matter. When it
No,
goes in the net, it counts the
it
same.
counts the same exactly. Yeah. And I mean, other teams seem to get that. And
Right.
Portugal's still playing it.
And
It's like a Ferrari not getting out of
but
third gear
you know what's the
and being
greatest
afraid to.
example is that Spain Uruguay game.
Yeah,
Muslera needs this. That's a save by anybody in any
yeah.
league. But
Hmm.
guess what? He didn't save it. So if
Right.
you take those chances, that might
Exactly.
happen with you. But you don't shoot.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'll tell you the story
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
Houston. Okay, so we're at the Fan Fest. I'm with my son. It's 100 degrees, so they also had an indoor air conditioned area, but the game's not on in there. Um, so when the game ended, we went in there. That's where the English fans were pre-gaming for their game and singing. And CBS HQ is pulling Portuguese fans and Portuguese fans, and they're asking him for interviews, and basically it's all Ronaldo based interviews. And then they finally get to me, and they're like, "Oh, will you talk to us? We're CBS. We want to talk to you." About what Ronaldo means to you, and are you Portuguese? I said, yeah, I actually am Portuguese. He goes, oh, great, you're the first one we've seen.
You're the first one.
When we ask that, that's not the end. He goes, great. I get up. I kid you not. He looks at my shirt, sees the number 21. He goes, oh. He goes, you're not wearing a Ronaldo shirt. This segment is about Ronaldo fans and what Ronaldo means to you guys.
Oh
I'm
my.
like, this is Diogo Jota. Like, do you not remember the story? Like, let me
Right.
talk about it. And they go, sorry, we're gonna have to move on to someone else or whatever.
Wow.
But it's hilarious. Like, it's so there's such a narrative being built. And there's this one guy on Instagram. I forget his name. He's a big Benfica fan too, and most of the time he annoys me. But he's right about this. He goes, they talked about Ronaldo in the first game, blamed him for everything. Then the second game, he scores 2 goals, and he's the greatest again. And
Right.
he's the GOAT, and this team is going to go win the World Cup now, the missing trophy.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
And now it's back to he's the problem. And
Right.
it's true. It's like they're just trying to shape a narrative, and they're not reporting what's going on. They're trying to build it into what they want to, the
They don't
story
see the
they
bigger
want to tell.
picture.
The bigger picture's not there. And it's getting to a point, I hate to say, where I think it's going to be refreshing when he's out of the picture.
Yeah.
And for
I
such
think
a
so
great
too.
player who has given so much, I don't blame him for any player at his level is going to want to keep playing. It's always someone else that has to kind of end it for them. It's someone else that has to say you don't have it anymore. And I'm not saying he doesn't have it in moments, There are games he can
Right.
be useful. What are we going to do? Let's talk about this for a second. What are we going to do in the upcoming knockout game? If you start him, you're going to leave him on there for 120 to be in the shootout?
Right.
Or are you going to sub off your normal penalty shooter and automatically go into a penalty shootout with one less normal penalty taker?
Right.
For me, I expected his time to kind of reduce as the games went on and become a substitute in the knockout
Right.
stage, so that he'd be available in extra time and in penalties if needed.
Exactly.
I now think he's going to start from the beginning, and it won't shock me if he walks for 120 minutes.
I don't. It would. I'd be kind of disappointed. And listen, I'm not a hater.
No,
I love the guy.
I
Everything
do
he's done
too.
for us
I
and
do
everything, but there comes to a point where even in that extra time in this game coming up, you get that extra sub. And I'm sorry if that extra sub is having to bring on Ramos to try to win this game before we can try to get to a penalty shot. I'm going to pull the trigger. You have
Yeah.
to, because then you're not doing a due service to the actual team.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking about him and you're thinking about you and the media and stuff. You're not thinking about the actual whole as a team.
Mm-hmm.
But the starting lineup coming up is going to be a real. It's going to be a real interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know you've got to be hearing the noise in the room. It's getting louder.
There's no way to ignore it, right?
There really isn't, and you can be all this. Come show your face, be happy with content. Like, oh, I'm so happy. The players can sing the same song.
Oh yeah,
they're all to the next game and this and that. Well, listen, there's a lot of noise going on. So you guys, something's got to happen.
They all got the corporate company speak going.
Right.
We see in our jobs where they're all saying the politically correct thing, the company line that, oh, it's just another game. We move on. We've already moved past it. But
right.
You can't say that next time if it goes like this. And Croatia's always been tough for Portugal. Let's not forget that in Euro 2016 it took extra time to beat them, and
and it took a little cheesy header from Quaresma.
Yes, exactly.
And guess what
on
that came off of?
Yeah,
and that came off of a shot on net.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get one of those if you're gonna.
You have to get a shot on. You can't just ticky tack pass.
You can't pass or dribble it into the goal. No, and that's what they've been trying to do for 3 games now.
And like what Nico's saying right now should have been called up.
Yeah,
you wasted that extra space.
I think you and I, with a fourth goalkeeper for training. If it's just for training, bring him unrostered and let him train. I don't think there's any rule against that. If that was really the reason. But I think you and I talked about this with Nino when we did the season finale, and we talked about the national team, that Paulinho is acclimated to North America.
Right.
He plays in Mexico.
He
can play at altitude.
He's already a living legend down there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They just won the CONCACAF Champions Cup. I mean, Toluca they won back-to-back titles. They were down a little bit this season, but they won the Continental Cup. Right. And he knows he can play in this weather.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It made no sense to leave him off of this roster.
Me neither, especially for the choice that you made to get a fourth goalie where your third goalie's not even going to see the field.
Right, exactly.
It just, and that, again, the coach, again, what are you doing?
I don't know how much say he has. I think that...
Do you think the part of him, people saying and knowing he's going to leave, plays into it too?
I don't know. I feel like that, to me, would free him up to make whatever decision he really wants to make. He shouldn't be worried about pleasing the federation or pleasing players because he's out of here. And
or
maybe after the next game.
Or in my you're going to be a free agent. If you go and make this great run with Portugal, you could probably pick the national team you want to coach.
Exactly.
If it's a vacancy. So it's kind of almost like you're really want to show this the cards you want to show, where now people are comparing that Belgium travesty that you had with our team that you're doing.
He has to know that everyone's making that comparison already. Right. He can't be proud of what he did at Belgium or what's going on. sure, he has the Nations League, but this World Cup and the Euro were not good.
No.
Good tournaments for him. He's won one group stage game, I think it's in the last 6.
Right.
He's won one game in the last 6 Euro or World Cup games, and it's against Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
Let's be honest. You know, it's I don't know. I would love to see this team coached by like a Sergio Conceição that just fire them up and let them go.
Or
do
even
what
a
they
Jorge
can do.
Jesus
Or
that
Jorge
brings
Jesus.
fire.
Those are the two I think that
Me too.
if it's going to be a Portuguese coach, it should be one of those two.
I think it's going to be a Portuguese coach. I think they're
Yeah.
seeing the writing on the wall,
Yeah.
and they're like, we need a guy with emotion.
Yeah, you can't just have a whatever you want to call a tactician, I guess, but he's shown to not be a tactician, Roberto Martinez. So I don't know. Yeah. I've got a pack of paninis. I'm going to open this because this is what I do during the World Cup. So let's see what I got in here. I've been collecting these. So
let's see what you got going on.
Let's see what I got in here. See, this is how we keep a smile, Nick, as we do. We
little things.
Change the subject.
Little things.
All right, look at this. This is Switzerland.
Okay.
Switzerland team badge. Hee-chan Kwang from Korea Republic.
He's already going home.
Yep. Ben Old of New Zealand. He's somewhere in the Pacific, over the Pacific probably. Too. Brahim Diaz of Morocco. Okay, Morocco's played well. There's a team that I think, but that shouldn't surprise us at this point.
No. They got quality players.
They got quality. They showed us that in the last World Cup in the quarterfinals. Right. Gabriel Magalhães, Brazil. Oh, man. I got a historic team. Check this out. Argentina 86.
Oh. Okay.
World champions. Okay, and last one is Luis Openda of Belgium. That's my best pack yet. Any closing thoughts, Mauricio, before we go? What are you looking forward to in these round of 32 matches? I know Canada's already advanced. Congrats to them.
Right. I'm actually interested to see if the little teams can step up. Now that the quality play is going to be better, more pressure.
No more element of surprise.
If a Cape Verde can hang
this is
with
quite
and I say hang, meaning hopefully by the hydration break it's not 2-0 already.
And if they can stay in it, they will make their fans in their country very proud.
Very proud.
Cabo Verde has played fantastic up to this point. They give you a reason to care and to root for it, which Portugal has not done.
I want to see how. If a Sweden can handle a France, if a Ghana can run with a hot Colombia now.
Yeah, those are some exciting games.
And listen, and I know USA's been playing good, but Bosnia's not going to be easy.
That's not going to be easy at all.
They like to play rough, and they like to slow the pace of the game where the USA wants to go fast-paced.
Right.
So one of those is going to have to give. But listen, there's interesting matchups. I think now's the time just to see who's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And that even goes to our team, too.
Yeah.
It's like Eminem says, will the real Portuguese team stand up? Like, who's going to stand up?
Maybe they were saving it. Who knows? If they go on and they play 3, masterpieces in the net, we're going to forget the group stage.
Right. And
we're going to look at it the way we do Euro 2016 and the way that
that's what they have to do. And and me and my friends have talked about it. And it reminds us, like you said, of that Euro where you tied every game. And it's like, what are we doing? And then we win these little games going into it. So maybe it's the same. Hopefully the same thing happens.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I have a little, if I want to take some positives, Diogo Costa looked good in this game. He was actually tested, and he answered the call. I think Ruben Dias and Renato Vega have a decent partnership there at central defense. I'm nervous about Nuno Mendes' health. He seems to scare me. He goes down and stays down a lot. He plays, he plays an aggressive style that takes a lot out of him physically and leads him into a lot of collisions and a lot of tackles with hard tackling players. And he's
also the recovery has to make all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And then the recovery, which there's plenty of videos out there on the internet of our players recovering very slowly.
Oh my God. I know.
walking, slow jogging.
The walking videos I've seen a
Yes,
lot.
exactly. And it's not the kind of walking that Messi does, where,
No.
where they're walking to preserve their so that when they get the ball that they're at peace. It's a different kind of walking. It's
Yes.
a I'm tired or I don't want to
Or
make this
it's the
run.
walking where I'm not interested.
Yeah, there was one counter. I don't remember if it was Neto or it was someone else going down the right, beats three people, but then nobody gets up the
It's
pitch for him.
Neto. I know
It is
exactly.
Neto, yeah.
It plays in
It's
my head since
it's
last
just
night.
Ronaldo and three Colombians in the box.
Yep.
You know,
And Neto just beat three guys, and then
yeah,
he's like, "What else do you want me to do? There's two other guys still
yeah,
back there."
and he doesn't have the angle to shoot because he came down the flank,
Yep.
and there's absolutely nobody trailing.
Nope.
Which if a midfielder's arriving in the box, and this is where I would like to see Bruno, because this is what he can do. To arrive in behind Ronaldo because those three defenders collapse on him. The space is there. You slide it in front of him. First time, of course, he'd
Right.
probably receive
And
the ball, take two touches, and then get the shot blocked.
so
But
you're
first,
hitting the nail right on the head, and that's what I want to see from Bruno and
Mhm.
what he's not doing. He needs to be more aggressive up front. Stop worrying to get the ball. Let Vitinha do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He'll find you. I need you in the box, in the area, switching in and out with runs with Ronaldo. That's what I need you to do.
In the game against Congo, Bruno's the one coming between the two center backs to get the
Yes.
ball in. I don't need him to do that.
No. And that's what bothers me about Bruno. It's like you're playing differently. I need you to be that aggressive type like you are
Yeah.
at Man U.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So maybe they'll wake up. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
I know.
It only takes one game to forget all these other ones. So
Seriously.
us Portuguese, we'll have one good game and we'll be the world's best again in our own eyes because we do this all the time. We're either the worst or the best. There's no in between.
And listen,
the best, so.
the Croatian matchup, I feel like it's a good matchup because I feel like they play the same way.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they're not going to bunker in. We're going to get the space to try to create goals the way we like to. We're going to be able to get some odd man rushes, be able to get some overloads on both sides, get the outside backs forward.
Yes.
But it can't just be hopeless crosses to Ronaldo versus the defense every time.
Exactly.
It needs to be measured. It needs to be planned. People have to make runs. And the set pieces got to get better. I know Nuno Mendes has a goal off a set piece because the whole world thought, except Tony Miola, who called it out. He goes, I don't know, this is perfect for a lefty. And then there it was. But maybe do that more.
Right.
Why not? Keep two guys around the ball. Let someone else take the set pieces.
Exactly.
It can't be him calling the shots. The coach needs to step up and be the coach at this point. Make tough decisions and live with them. Rather than just let what's going to happen.
Exactly.
All right, then. I don't have anything else for this episode. You got anything else you want to say?
No, man. I guess I'll save it for that game.
Yeah, we'll have to plan something after the Croatia game then, and we'll come back on here and hopefully talk about how much better they were. And
yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you for everyone who was watching. Thank you to everyone listening in audio. Thank you to Nico for helping us out in the chat and giving us some material to work with. And we'll be back. I'll try to record again. Tomorrow's a driving day for me, so I'm leaving Oklahoma City tomorrow morning. I hope to get to Indiana by the end of the day tomorrow. We'll see, and then home by Tuesday night. We'll see. But thank you, everybody. And
all right, Mikey.
We'll catch you next time.
I'll see you, man. Safe travels.
See you. Thank you.
All right, man.
Força Portugal.
Yeah, força.
All right.